Isis, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. So what's funny is that I did 6 videos, and when I counted it all, yeah, obviously I came up with 6 videos, and so I figured in my mind I got to make it a seventh just to round it off in my mind, in my soul, because I like the number 7. It's a powerful number for me. So I'm going to start by saying if I misled anyone by the last 6 videos that I just made, I apologize. Everything is theory. Everything is what I felt from within to show you what I've been shown. None of it is meant to be malicious or to hurt anyone or to separate anyone. That's not what I want. That's not what we should want, I should say. What we should not want. But unfortunately, there are people at the top who are splitting us no matter what. We all have our role to play. And just like in the Matrix, if you look at that word matrix, you may get tricked. Her web, it's her darkness, her web. Mother's web, the matrix, matrix, M-A. It's a trick, and it's meant to trick you. It will trick you, and it has tricked you. It's tricked me too. I've just woken up. I woke up. And just like the movie The Matrix explains, he woke up. And it's not just one. You're not supposed to wait for a savior. You have the capability. We all have the capability within. Prayer is a powerful thing, but I know now many don't have the spiritual development within to pray correctly, to pray in a way that's not selfish, to pray for almost all, and not pray for things that you feel you need. Many pray for your own well-being, to keep a job, to keep money on you, but that's not what it's about. You don't have to pray for that. You already have that. It's already in front of you. If you're praying for that, then you've misunderstood. But that's not just your fault or mine. It's how we've been taught. Prayer is simply being conscious of your every move, your every step, your every thought within. Where are your thoughts? Are they really? You know what? It sounds like I'm a dictator, but at the same time, this is therapy, and we all play this role for each other. This therapeutic role to listen and talk to each other without judgment. And we're missing it. We're not playing it. We're not doing any of it right. We're a bunch of rogues making our own decisions when in fact we can make our own decisions, but it should be based on a knowledge that we do not have or we're not practicing anymore. Therefore we become rogues. And we're rogues. Wow. We all know all great puddles of mud that think we know it all, that think we figured it out. The other day I was on the train, I was told by a white man to put on my cover, and I gave him at least a minute to shut up, and I didn't reply to him. I gave him at least a minute. I didn't say nothing. And finally I had to open my mouth and tell him, you're not in command of me. You don't tell me to put on some Daffy Duck condom on my face. You're not in command of me. How dare you? You don't pay my rent. You don't feed my face. You don't work to give me money to pay my rent. No man has the right to tell another man in such a way. And in the end of that argument with this guy, well, he didn't argue. I did the most of talking. He didn't actually have shit to say. He didn't have shit to say. He said at the end to me, so my scientists are lying to me? He says. He believes that the science on TV that tells him to wear a Daffy Duck condom is not lying to him, that they're telling the truth. Now, I can't battle that because he has his belief and I have to allow him to believe that. I could tell him, which I did, I told him during my shouting at him, and it wasn't chaotic shouting, it was controlled. Because not only did I want him to hear it, I wanted everybody on the subway car to hear it clearly. That Daffy Duck syndrome does not float in the air for 12 hours. And if it did, your eyes would have been absorbed it. That's how your eyes work. That's how your skin works. It absorbs. You're still breathing in a sense. And if such a thing would be possible, I'm sorry, but the ghetto does not look like it's a shortage of people to me. Everyone is still here, very healthy. I don't see anyone sick. I hear people running to the hospital and because of syndromes and then not coming back. I hear of that. That's a really great way to convince people. It is. And I'm not fighting against that anymore. And I can't. Because you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe all those people that work in a hospital with their scrubs, if such a thing was possible, aren't carrying it around. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. But what if I'm not? And what if in 10, 20 years from now, you see birth defects and people having weird issues? You'll forget about it was these days. I just don't want to find out. If there is something in the air that has caused people to get sick in such a way, then I say be honest about it and tell us. Don't lie about it. But the fact that they're lying about it tells me that they're not clearly, there's nothing in such a way. Put it together with what I know, what I learned, and it doesn't add up. Plenty of nurses and doctors have said it over and over and over again. So the cognitive dissonance that many people are having concerning it, then let them. They're supposed to. They're supposed to. That's their role to play. You know, I'm self-appointed in my own right. I'm not going to say God sent me, because maybe God didn't send me. Maybe I'm just arrogant, and I'm gonna take that responsibility. But I will tell you that my experience has led me to realize that there is an unseen force. My experiences tell me there is an unseen force manipulating, guiding, showing. And that's my only proof, my only proof, not proof to you, my proof, my living proof to myself. That Yahweh exists in such a way. So I again, this is the 7th video, and I personally I'm learning to take up that mantle as a Jedi. Jedediah was King Solomon's name. King Solomon wasn't afraid of the demons. He faced them. He talked to them. He asked them questions. And on top of all that, he controlled them. He controlled them. that doesn't seem Jedi to you, I don't know what does. If that doesn't seem Star Wars, Matrix-y to you, I don't know what does, but it's obvious to me. And that's where I want to hone my gifts now. It's not about having a relationship here anymore. I think that's all done away with now. The sexual aspect of it is a childish one at that, I think, now. I personally would not want to bring children into this, but many Rastafarians would fight me and say, bring children in to fight them. You know what? I don't have the right doctrine to teach a child personally. And I'd be afraid, honestly. I'd be afraid. So, and afraid because of what has been put in place. Afraid to know that if my child was born in a hospital, he's gonna get a needle in his heel as part of their vaccination doctrine is what my child is going to go through. And I don't want to put my child through that. My child, if it's going to be born, it's going to be born of a woman who knows to have birth in water, not on a flat table, but to give birth in the water so it comes out clean and easy. So it's a smooth transition instead of a dramatic transition on your back, giving birth in pain. Part of the many misguided, misinformed ways of having children. Not only do we not teach the child in that 9 months gestation, but the child comes out dumb and in a dramatic scene with one of the first things it gets is a vaccination in its heel. You should look up why we get it in our heels. Achilles heel. You should look it up. There's more to it. The pyramid scheme is real. It's all real. And I'm living proof. My story could go pretty deep with all this, and I could show you through the stories, but there's no time for that, and no one believes it anyway, and I'm not going to waste the time with that. It's not what I'm supposed to do. I would love to share the stories of how I came to these conclusions, but it's just long and winded, and it sounds like I'm talking about myself, and that's fair. That's only because many of us are ignorant to a real story. My story has to do with reincarnation. How I came to realize I am one of them. I've been shown my lives, the lives I've lived. And it's the same sign over and over and over again, and I can't change that. But if I were to say what my reincarnation is, you would call me a blasphemer. And that's fair. That's fair. But keep in mind the limited knowledge that we have, even if you're working from the Bible. All the books aren't there. They never were. And I can't imagine how many books there really are, actually. There must be, who knows. But all those books, those stories, some of those stories made it to the big screen. Some of those philosophy made it to the big screen and made it into a fantasy element that we don't take seriously. We have the power, literally. We could cause earthquakes if we all think it. It's been proven. We could probably stop, just with prayer, with a kind of thought, we could probably stop altogether collectively. We could stop a tsunami from happening. Sound wave, literally. Stop a storm from, a hurricane from coming on land or close to. We have the power to do these things, but we again, it's the movies that have taken us out of our place, taken us away from our true selves. I stopped watching syndicated television a long time ago, and I didn't know why then, but now I do know why. My mind isn't saturated with their lies and their coding and Their constant gossip disguised in social media, disguised in entertainment. So on this day, the day that the sun is the lowest in the sky, the darkest day of the year, or one of the darkest days besides July 4th, technically. And well, no, I won't. Yeah, July 4th. If you know about July 4th, the day also the sun is farthest from the planet, or farthest from the plane, farthest from, well, on December 25th, the sun is farthest away from the north on this day. Hence the burning of the tree to light up the sky again, pagan worship. Then you have this Satan's claws, Santa Claus, Cinder Claus from Europe with his Krampus, cramps, his cramps. Notice the word cramps? They had a movie about it, Cramps. It was the true, the real mythology behind Saint Nick, who was not a Christian, by the way, who was not canonized by the fake Christian churches anyway. But many think that Saint Nick, and you don't realize Saint Nick is the devil. Nick is the devil. Nick, it's clever. So I hope many of you aren't, I shouldn't hope, because I know what's happening. Let me stop hoping. I'm sad to say so many are just worshiping the wrong, or doing the wrong thing on this very spiritual moment. I think this is these days, these specific days, like the conjunction that just happened on Monday, are life-changing awareness experiences that, if done correctly, being aware of those moments and cleansing and fasting and doing whatever you have to do on those moments, those days that these planetary alignments are happening, there's a benefit from it in the long run. There's a benefit. But until practice, you'll not know that benefit. You can't know. You cannot win the race without running it. You must run the race and win that trophy. But it's those who won the trophy and didn't run the race who are directing our narrative of life. So again, I apologize. I'm not a perfect man. I've sinned, and I apologize to all who I've hurt. I apologize to all who I've done wrong against. Some I'll never cross paths again with, and some I will. And those I cross paths again with, I will open my mouth and say something. And for those who I haven't, I just hope that there's mercy upon me for asking for forgiveness if I've done anything wrong now, and for what I've done wrong in the past. Again, these videos are just therapy for me, just therapy. I shouldn't be sitting here talking to myself, but I am, because I have to get it out. And it's the only way I found. There could be other ways, I guess. Some could say, oh, there's all kinds of, and fine. But I chose to do it this way. And in doing so, hopefully I'm helping others. Hopefully. But I don't know. I got to stop hoping, because it's already been planned. You can hope and wish all you want, but it's already been planned. The coding. So it's been written already. It's been written. It's a commercial. You can't have anything without it being interrupted. You see that? I love it. That's the imperfection of life, man. That's the imperfection. You gotta just deal with it. So I'm done. I've said what I had to say, and again, I hope it was the right thing to do. I wish everyone the best.